Hello. We get a little music going and check this out. One of my soundtracks. I named it What's Up. And it's November 2022. November of 2022. I forgot about them turkey runs. It's been a few years since I've been out checking out these food banks, and I remember how they used to be turkey runs. So I'm going to let it run this course right here, but here we go. It's all about them turkeys on November, especially the latter part of November. I had a couple of food banks that did it close to the third week in November. I did one early in November, no problem. But I go to the one I normally do on Wednesday, and it's on the third Wednesday week of November. And they put out advertising on their test messages that they had a whole lot of goodies, and they got hit, they got slammed. People were there early. Truck came early. Food ran out early. So everything was early. By the time I got there, there was nothing left but some juices, and potatoes. And the guy that runs the food bank, on that day, he had to be the one to get out there and tell people that they ran out early, because people came early. They advertised they had all them goodies, and I guess they did a little hoarding too among themselves with their family and friends. But it was long gone and no time soon. And he gets food from, not from Glenda's, but from the Forgotten Harvest. No, not from Forgotten Harvest, you get it from Glenda's. That's what I meant to say. You get it from Glenda's, not Forgotten Harvest. The particular one I go to on Wednesday. Then there's a once a month on Thursdays. She's the third week of the month. She was having an outdoor event this Saturday, take the place of a Thursday food bank. And she advertised all them goodies she was going to have. I know she was going to run out. And it was cold this weekend. We got a real cold spell. So I said, it ain't worth it. I let the turkey chasers get their turkey and won't give them no competition for it. So I struck out this week, the third weekend of the month in November for the food bank. It was completely struck. I got one juice out the deal, one bottle of juice. So I basically struck out, because I copped out on the Saturday one, and struck out on the Wednesday one, and I copped out on the Saturday one that normally runs on Thursday. I'll probably catch her next year in January. That's the one that did a home delivery, but she said she don't do a food bank once a month. I thought it was once a week. I finna get off good on that, but I forgot she's once a month on the third Thursday of the month. Third Thursday of the month. So anyway, that's what's happening with that. So I look like I have to have me some really good weather to make my rounds down the block with a couple more food banks I ain't done in a while. But I'm gonna wait until after these holidays over. But I do that because I know they'll be slamming them around the holidays, because the price of chitlins is up to $45 a bucket. I never thought chitlins would be $45 a bucket, but it has made it there. I don't know what's happening with these chitlins that they cost so much money, but they do. And it ain't worth it to me if it's not for no chitlins. It's like I said, I would never pay $5 for a pack of cigarettes back when I was smoking. Now cigarettes is around $10 a pack. But I don't smoke no more, so that's a good thing. So I passed on the chitlins this year. This first year I did not do chitlins. Now my cousin Charles had been here, he would have sacrificed that money to do them chitlins. That's for sure. I also do them in memory of my father. So I might make that sacrifice for him between now and Christmas, between November and Christmas, between New Year's and Christmas. Let's put it like that. This is a Turkey Day. Turkey month coming up this month, with Thanksgiving being next week Thursday. For me, Thanksgiving ain't good for nothing but some watching football. I don't get into the holidays like I used to. I just watch football and leave it just like that. So that's what's happening with that. Now going forward, because I'm not going to be talking about the tours, but I am going to start talking about the community garden that I was involved in back when I stopped going to food banks back in 2019, 2020. By the time 2020 came, I stopped going to food banks because of the virus. But I'm going to start talking about this community garden I started with a neighbor, and how things changed over the years. It took 3 years for things to change, but things changed over up to 3 years for that to occur. So that's what I'll be talking about when you see community garden. That's what we're talking about. I'm going to try to leave people's names out, but you know who I'm talking about if you know me, and that's for sure. And it should be interesting because there's some high drama going on now, that's for sure. And people do change. I call them fake people. It'd be one way one time, and there'd be another way the next time. So they ain't for real all the time. So sometimes it takes that, for them to let their guard down. So anyway, like I said, I took on the bicycle tip, I did take the cruiser. I converted over for a spin, got the battery hooked up to it. It rolled good. I just got to put the bolts in there for the not the axle. I got to follow the axle back a little bit, to drop out for the axle. I got to follow it back a little bit more so I can get it to drop in a little bit more farther down. But for the fork, I can put the bolts in for the fork that I extended out with. As this other young lady that asked me to convert her cruiser over to a electric bike, and I showed her how I did it. I did with them 20-inch forks that I cut up. So that's why I probably have to tell her that's what she has to do to support the weight of the motor and that with the axle. But anyway, we'll see what happens next year. In the meantime, my new project for the community coming up next year, I already started it this year, is to adopt a bus stop. I'm going to talk about that a lot too. Got one over there by Montclair and Warren, about where the community garden is at. Got one over there and about to adopt Shoemaker. Shoemaker was the street I basically growed up on. That was the big first major avenue that I became familiar with when we moved over here back in 1962. Going to church up there in the mid-60s, 63, 64, 65. Probably more 65, 66. True Missionary Baptist Church, that's what it was called. So I'm going to talk about putting benches up and down, Shoemaker, and supporting that for the community. And I ride by and see people. When I ride by on my bike, I see people sitting at the bus stop, and they be sitting on some of everything. Summertime, they sit on the ground, sit on the curb. They bring furniture out from a throw out. Somebody can do a clean out. They'll take their couch. I had a couch. I seen a couch at the bus stop, and I also seen chairs from the kitchen set, bar set chairs there. I seen patio chairs there. Plus that plastic patio furniture, it blows away. It ain't stationary. Lawn chairs, buckets, 5-gallon buckets, milk crates. And at one time they were turning over the container that held the trash can. For the trash can, you used to turn that over and sit on it. So I said, I seen this pastor do it 3 years ago when he had a food bank up here on Harper. And I seen him do it. And I was inspired by him doing it because I used to go to his food bank on Wednesdays. And I said to myself, one of these days, I am going to put me a bench together. And I did just that. I put a bench together and got it started in 2022. The plan was to get it started before 2022 and 2020. But when COVID hit, that dropped that out the picture. So now I'm doing it in 2022. I got one done. And I'm recycling materials. So not only is I'm providing a bench for people to sit on, but I'm also recycling materials. And that's very important to me to recycle materials. I'm a big fan of recycling materials. We throw away too many reusable materials in our society because we such a capitalistic society. It's all about making profit and not making do. So that's just the way it is. It'll go back the other way. Things just have to change. When things tightened up in 2020, when they had the embargo, not the embargo, but when the imports wouldn't come in like they used to, because when the people were not there on the shipping side to receive them, and they got the bag up with them shipping containers, cargo ships. They was bagged up in the port. People then got real tight for wood, and wood they normally would throw out, they were salvaging. So all you gotta do is the supply, if the demand goes down, the supply go down, that demand for it would go up, and then people would not be so quick to throw away reusable materials. Don't do nothing but go to a landfill. It does not disappear, and that's for sure. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can find me a picture of it. I got a picture somewhere, and I'm gonna show a picture of it on this podcast. And that's when the time I give a new bench pit in it, I'm gonna take a picture of it and share it on the podcast that I got that done. That's something I'm gonna be bragging about. If I'm able body next year, which will be 2023, I'm gonna be more than a willing body to get that done. That's in that special category of unfinished business. So here we go. Qua Henry. I'm working on Swahili. I'm working on trying to learn how to say these words. Qua Henry is goodbye in Swahili. Qua Henry is goodbye in Swahili. Now let the Spanish go and get into my African side. And I'm going to ring that bell because it's that time. Qua Henry. It's that time to say goodbye. Qua Henry. Later, Gator.